Hi, I'm Natasha, Digital Communications and Public Programming Officer at Public Record Office Victoria.
I'm Asa. I'm the Online Engagement Officer at Public Record Office Victoria, working the same team with Natasha.
And today we're going to talk about two web services at PROV that you might not be familiar with yet, but we hope will make your research a lot easier and perhaps more enjoyable, no matter what your level of expertise is. They're the PROVisualizer and the PROV Map Warper.
Oh, Natasha, I should mention that I'm the project manager for both the web services. So I help develop them with the developers that we used on the projects.
Cool. Should we start with PROVisualizer?
Yeah, let's do that. And I think we should really give everyone an idea of why we developed PROVisualizer. I think the most important reason is because we know that people are very familiar, researchers are familiar with libraries, galleries, and museums. But when it comes to archives, it's a little bit trickier to get their heads around how an archive works and how they start their research. So we wanted to create an easy way for people to get their foot in the door and understand an archive. And that's what PROVisualizer does, hopefully.
Cool. So you don't need to think like an archivist or understand 19th century record systems?
No, that is the beauty of PROVisualizer. It just gets you into the heart of the archive without having to understand all those systems. Now, the most important thing, Natasha, is it doesn't get rid of those systems. It's just another way of looking at the archives and getting into the records. So should we start with PROVisualizer?
Yeah, let's have a demonstration.
Okay, so here we go. This is PROVisualizer. And there's a couple of links from the PROV website. Let's start with a topic search because that's what we can do with PROVisualizer. We're going to look at education. So we purely put in education here into the search field. And it really looks like a topic search in Google. Press enter. And you'll notice that quite a few records in the visualization coming up. Here they come. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing basically all the series, all the collections of records, the departments or agencies that created those records, and the broad functions or areas of government that those departments administer. And education is one of those really big areas of government. And there's a help section here to discuss or describe what those circles mean and what you can do with PROVisualizer. Let's get rid of that now. And we should remember that you can always go full screen to get a better look. And every time you hover over a circle, it's basically a link to our online catalogue. If you click on that, but let's zoom in just by double clicking on the space there. This is the education functional area of government. If you click on that, that'll take you straight away to another tab, which is the online catalogue here for education in terms of the function. But let's get rid of that now just to go back here, back to full screen. The most important thing is that we can also share any search we do on PROVisualizer. You can share that on Facebook, Twitter. You can even email yourself or a friend, a fellow researcher, the link to your search results. And if you want the whole PROVisualizer application on your own website, just click on embed, and that's all the script that you can copy and paste into any web page on your site. And you've basically got PROVisualizer application plus all the search functionality. Very easy to do. So if we come across here, let's get out of full screen for a moment. We'll stay there. You can see that we've got a number. Gives you an idea of currently in 2020, all the series, all the agencies and all the functions that we hold at Public Record Office Victoria, the State Archive. So education is obviously a really big, important topic. Important in terms that we have a lot of records about it. But over time, here's the year search. You can see how this has all changed. If we go to 1900 and hit enter, suddenly these entities, series, agency, function have really decreased a lot. So you can see how things have changed over time. Let's go to 1950 and we'll see how machinery and government changes means that everything's increased. From 82 here to 126, we've gone up in the number of collections of records plus the number of functional links here. everything is linked in this visualization to everything else, because that's what an archive is. It's not just a list of records, it's a repository of linked entities, functions, agencies, series or collections of records. So this gives you an idea of the scope of the archive, because we don't have manuscripts and diaries. We're a state archive. We have records created by government, interactions between government and individuals, but we don't have those things you might find in a library or a museum, those very personal things. So we don't want people to waste their time looking for those things in an archive when we simply don't have them. PROVisualizer hopefully will save those people all that time. Looking for those private diaries, they won't come to the archive. They might go to the state library, say.
Great, and let's have a look at our second web service now, the PROV Map Warper.
Fantastic. Now I should mention, Natasha, for everyone out there, that the reason we created Map Warper is because it's simply really hard to remember and know all the obscure historic names for locations for some of these very old maps and plans. So it's much easier if you can just put in a contemporary place name that you know really well and come up with those historic maps and plans. Here's Map Warper. We're going to click here, place name, and simply put in the place that we know. Let's put in Coburg. That's my neck of the woods. And then we're just going to hit enter. And suddenly the maps and plans for covering that area of Coburg come up here. But let's try something a little bit different. Let's see how we put in a modern day location name like Keilor and search. And a lot of maps and plans that we might not know the historic locations of come up too. So Keilor, we come up with Dudagalla, Saltwater River Mitchell, and so forth. Now, a lot of people simply don't know these historic location names, but with Map Warper, you don't have to know that. Very easy. And if we click on this, we'll see exactly how it gets overlaid. So a member of the public has used this crowdsourcing system of Map Warper to put some geospatial points on this historic parish plan. And they've very kindly done that so that other people in the future can then have a look at it overlaid in the exact location in the modern world. Let's zoom in a bit just by clicking. Township of Maribyrnong. In the Keilor area, Moonee Ponds, Keilor, Maribyrnong. Here's the Maribyrnong River in the real world, contemporary world, and overlaid on top of that is our beautiful geospatially presented map or parish plan of Maribyrnong and Keilor surrounds. Very easy to do and very easy to find.
So Asa,
yeah, sorry, yep.
Does that mean, when you say crowdsourcing, does that mean like Trove or Wikipedia, anyone out there can be involved?
Exactly, it's all free of charge. It's a free web service by the state government. You just simply create an account on Map Warper, and then there is instructions in the video on the homepage, or in the help section, there's a step-by-step PDF that takes you through how to use Map Warper. Very easy. But I should show you there's another way to find maps on Map Warper. You can just simply hit Find Maps by Location, and you could put in here Keilor, Victoria, and anything covering or near that area will come up here on the left-hand side. We've got about over 12,000 maps on Map Warper, and about 5,000 of those have been geoplaced or rectified by members of the public, just like they help out with Trove and Wikipedia. Here's Pawpaw, an historic name covering this area that not many people would know of. Let's open that up. And it's been rectified, so we can hit preview. And here we will see it once again, beautifully overlaid on the modern world. Let's zoom in a bit to see these details. There's the river, there's the Maribyrnong, And there it is in the real world. Now, the great thing about Map Warper is you can actually export all these. We go to export. The latitude, longitude points that a member of the public have created to do this or overlay this map, you can actually download those just by clicking here on CSV, download control points, and use those in your own application. Are you seeing those points, Natasha?
Yep, we can see them.
Great. All right, let's hopefully get back to Map Warper now. So that's how you export and see the CSV. You can also export and see that map from Map Warper in Google Earth just with one click here. A bit more advanced, but really, really interesting to see your Map Warper map from the archives in 3 dimensions on Google Earth. So you'll see the rise and fall of the terrain on the actual parish plan or historic map. And that's the main functionality of Map Warper.
Great. So how do people find out more?
Okay, so just do a Google search for Map Warper. And because it's so popular in Australia now, you'll come up here. The first result is Map Warper. And that's how you get to Map Warper there. You can even go to the PROV website and do a website search for either Map Warper or Parish Plan, and that will take you to a link to the website too. Here it comes. There we go. Lots of links to Map Warper from these page results coming up. Very easy. I forgot to tell you, I should let you know also that once you've got a search result in Map Warper, you can share that result with everyone else, your fellow researchers, through Facebook, Twitter, or through email using the share functionality there. Yep, very easy.
Great. Thank you, Asa.
Pleasure. Thanks, Natasha.
And thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, thanks everyone for your time. Hope that makes your research a bit easier using PROVisualizer and Map Warper. Thank you.